I was kidnapped along with Jack's first love, Ella. He brought $500,000 in ransom money and rescued Ella without hesitation. Even my son, whom I had carried for 10 months, chimed in. I want to take Sister Ella with us. Dad, she'll be scared if we leave her here. The game system declared my mission a failure. Once your physical body dies, you'll be sent back to your original world. So I became desperate to die, wanting nothing more than to go home quickly. But when my husband and son realized I truly didn't want to live anymore, they hugged me and said, I'm sorry, please don't leave us, okay? After trying to win Jack's heart for 12 years, he still chose Ella over me without hesitation. Jack quickly untied the ropes binding Ella, his eyes full of concern. Beside them, Tommy, imitating his father, was gently rubbing Ella's reddened wrists and blowing on them occasionally. Sister Ella, I'll blow on it and make it all better. The three of them were so lovingly harmonious, completely forgetting about me still in the kidnapper's hands. Even the kidnapper couldn't help but mock the scene. Your husband is lost in his romantic paradise. I guess he won't come to rescue you. Should I just kill you now? Watching the two of them escort Ella away, the game system officially declared my mission a failure. The ensuing punishment shocked me unconscious. In my daze I heard the kidnapper frantically trying to support my collapsing body. I was just talking tough. Did I really scare her that badly? Oh no, I better get her to a hospital quick. If something happens to her, I'm in big trouble. Waking up in the hospital, I confirmed with the game system in my head. As long as this body dies completely, I can go home, right? After getting an affirmative answer from the system, I moved towards the window. This hospital room was on a high floor, at least 50 feet up. Jumping from here would certainly be fatal. I opened the window and leaped out. An enormous sense of weightlessness hit me, and I instinctively reached out my hand. The howling wind stung my ears, but I wasn't afraid. In fact, I was looking forward to death. Just a little more, and I would be home, back to a world where someone truly loved me. I closed my eyes, calmly waiting. The next second, the falling sensation disappeared. Someone grabbed my arm forcefully. The momentum of the fall caused my muscles to tear and stretch, sending waves of intense pain from my arm throughout my entire chest. I opened my eyes, feeling like my arm might be broken. The person who caught me was Leo, Jack's half-brother. I looked up at the sweating young man and calmly said, "Let go." Leo gritted his teeth and gripped tighter, using all his strength to pull me up. He shouted, "Just because my brother didn't choose you? You're jumping off a building for that? Is your head filled with shit?" I reached out, slowly prying his fingers off. "Leo, if I die, it'll make you happy, right? So let go." Leo hated me, or rather, anyone close to Jack didn't approve of me. After Ella ran away for love, Jack married me under family pressure. They were convinced I was a homewrecker who took advantage of the situation. They openly isolated, excluded, and ignored me. Leo was at the forefront of this treatment. Using his status as Jack's brother, he would strut into the family mansion and destroy all the baby's breath flowers I had planted in the backyard. Knowing I was allergic to cat hair, he encouraged Tommy to adopt a stray kitten. When I disagreed, he suggested Tommy cry about it. The commotion filled the entire living room. Leo watched from the sidelines, suddenly playing the good guy and taking the high road. "It's just a little cat. Let the kid have it if he likes it." Tommy cried even harder, rolling on the ground and mumbling, "Mommy is bad. I want the kitty." I chased Leo out along with the cat, and patiently explained to Tommy that I was allergic to cat hair, so we couldn't keep a cat, but we could get a puppy instead. After Leo's manipulation, Tommy only had the cat on his mind, and wouldn't listen. He kept hitting me, demanding I give him back the kitten. This created a rift between Tommy and me. Leo seized the opportunity to continue badmouthing me to Tommy, causing the young child to learn to oppose me. He was like a demon crawling out of hell, turning my life upside down. I didn't die. The commotion Leo caused attracted the medical staff. They worked together to pull me back up. Leo glanced at me, closed the window, and fell unusually silent. His hands wouldn't stop shaking, with dark red marks covering his palms and fingertips. "Mia, I don't hate you as much as you think I do." He lowered his head, his bangs hiding his eyes. I thought I heard a hint of guilt in his voice. Just as I was about to dig deeper, Leo crossed his arms and lifted his head, reverting to his carefree demeanor. He said nonchalantly, "Is this another one of your tricks? Let me tell you, my brother won't fall for this push and pull game. If you keep this up, you'll only make him sick of you." Leo was lost in his own world, chattering away while the medical staff checked the equipment by the bed. Taking advantage of this moment, I once again stepped towards the window and swiftly opened it. Before I could step out, Leo pulled me back. After 2 consecutive suicide attempts, Leo finally realized I wasn't just seeking attention, but truly wanted to die. He pulled me away from the window, and after making sure I was within his control, began to patiently counsel me, his attitude becoming gentler. "Don't do anything stupid, okay? There are plenty of other men in the world besides my brother. Why are you so hung up on him?" He coughed lightly, his cheeks turning red. "I admit, my brother isn't a good husband, but you can get a divorce. You know, it's not worth dying for him. Maybe someone out there is secretly in love with you, and you just haven't noticed." Leo took me back to the family mansion. On the way, he told me that Jack had already found out the kidnapping was orchestrated by me, and was now comforting the traumatized Ella. "My brother is pretty angry right now. When we get there, just apologize to Ella properly, and this whole thing will be over. Once we calm my brother down, the divorce will be much easier to handle." I didn't respond, instead turning my head towards the car window. The scenery outside rushed by, fleeting, not even leaving an afterimage. Combining this with the kidnapper's panic when sending me to the hospital before I fainted, I guessed that this kidnapping was probably another one of Ella's schemes to frame me. me. By pinning the crime on me, she could still play the innocent victim in front of Jack. This wasn't the first time, and it certainly wouldn't be the last. Ella and I were like opposite poles of a magnet, repelling each other and constantly hurting one another. And Jack, he was the iron filing that always aligned with Ella. No matter how clumsy the ploy, in his eyes, it all became Ella's adorable nature and need for security. He would stand unwaveringly by Ella's side, the scales never tipping in my favor. My arguments, despair, and hysteria only earned me one response from him. Stop making a scene. Look at yourself. Suddenly I remembered when I first started trying to win Jack's heart. Back then, Ella had eloped with the male lead, leaving Jack, the devoted second male lead, drowning his sorrows in alcohol day after day. The game system told me that the man lying drunk in the corner was my target. Only by reaching 100% favorability could I return home. I didn't understand why the mission's completion condition had to be a man's love, but to go home, I still nervously approached Jack. He would get drunk at bars, and I'd join him, vomiting everywhere. I'd apologize to the staff and clean up the mess. He missed the desserts Ella used to make, so I enrolled in a baking class and studied his tastes. Those painstakingly made desserts? Jack didn't even look at them before throwing them in the trash. He warned me not to try to imitate Ella, saying I wasn't even fit to tie her shoelaces. After that, I stopped making desserts but learned how to cook proper meals. Jack had a sensitive stomach and often skipped dinner when working late. Every day I'd prepare different dishes, ensuring a balanced diet, and personally deliver them to his office. Perhaps because my cooking wasn't bad, Jack slowly began to accept my presence. That period was the most harmonious time in my relationship with Jack. I managed to raise his favorability to 98%. Just when I thought I could go home soon, a drunken mistake led to my pregnancy. Jack married me under family pressure. His favorability towards me dropped significantly. From the beginning to the end, he always thought I had intentionally gotten pregnant, that I had set a trap for him to fall into. How ridiculous. I wasn't the one who forgot protection. If anyone was to blame, it was him. He and Ella were the same type of people, always pinning their faults and crimes on others. Did that somehow lessen their guilt? How laughable. Forgive me, but I couldn't understand their logic. I followed behind Leo. As we pushed open the mansion's main door, the first thing I saw was Ella, lying comfortably on the sofa. Jack and Tommy were attending to her. The older one held a plate of cut fruit, using a fork to feed Ella piece by piece. The younger one sat at Ella's feet, grinning as he massaged her legs. If those two had tails, they'd probably be wagging them to the sky by now. Jack turned his head and saw me, immediately putting on a serious face. His brows furrowed as he picked up some documents from the coffee table and threw them directly at my face. He stood up, his presence intimidating. Mia, I don't mind you throwing tantrums, but you absolutely shouldn't have hurt Ella. Did you enjoy staging this kidnapping to get my attention? If anything had happened to Ella, you'd be in jail. I bent down to pick up the scattered papers at my feet. After reading them carefully, I couldn't help but laugh mockingly. There was only a self-serving statement from the kidnapper. If Jack had been willing to trust me even a little and check the bank account number used to transfer money to the kidnapper, he wouldn't have wrongly accused me. People only see what they want to see. Seeing my reaction, Ella got up from the sofa. She seemed afraid I might say something, anxiously grabbing Jack's sleeve. Jack, I'm fine. You don't need to be so upset. Mia is a girl. Going to jail would be. Before she could finish, I slapped her hard across the face. I used all my strength, the sound of the slap echoing throughout the living room. Ella looked at me dazedly, not yet recovered from the shock of the slap. It wasn't just her. Almost everyone was stunned. Jack was the first to react. He lunged at me furiously, his hands gripping my throat, his eyes filled with uncontrollable rage. The survival instinct made me struggle and twist. I looked up at him contemptuously. You think this little evidence is enough to put me in jail? You might be an idiot, but the police aren't. This statement greatly provoked Jack. He increased the pressure on my throat, allowing less and less air into my lungs. Death was slowly approaching, but I couldn't control the smile creeping onto my face. At the critical moment, Leo punched Jack, snapping him out of his rage. Jack instinctively loosened his grip on my throat. The lack of oxygen made my legs weak, and in an instant, I collapsed to the ground. I gasped for air, glaring with slight dissatisfaction at Leo, the culprit who had ruined my 2 chances at death. He threw another punch at Jack, still not satisfied. Do you realize she was about to die? You nearly choked her to death. Jack was dazed from the punches but didn't choose to hit back. He pushed Leo away and looked at me with a complex expression, only to awkwardly turn his head away after a moment. So what if she died? It's her fault for provoking Ella first.